Welcome everyone to another RGL cast. My name is Jarrett and I will be soon joined by Jamon. This is RGL Invite Season 17, Week 6A between the Cell and GlobalClan. As the weeks continue on and past the halfway point, we get closer and closer getting an idea of what these teams are capable of and where they theoretically land in terms of what seed they will potentially gain near the end of the season, and will that net them a spot in playoffs or they fall slightly short. Both the Cell and GlobalClan are kind of in the middle of the pack. GlobalClan, their dreams are pretty much for playoffs are dead by now, without miraculous upbringing. And same could be relatively said for the Cell, considering I think their road to playoffs consists of beating every single non-Froyo team in all their rematches. And while the notion of going ahead and beating not only Franz J and Jiminy and G6 may be daunting, you do have a situation where both these teams are about adjacent to each other in skill level and especially on the standings. So even if you aren't necessarily trying to win for going for glory and trying to make your seed as high as possible, you're definitely doing it for pride to make sure that your seed lands above your opponents tonight. And it's all going to shake down on process. Jamond, welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Dude, I have had an insane night, let me tell you that. But other than that, dude, I'm doing phenomenal, my brother. Another night of Team Fortress 2, another night of casting, another night of great teams going head to head. But you know how it is, Jerry. You know how it is. TF2, we love it. The game's here. It's all good vibes.
Yep. I think before we go ahead and kick things off and start talking about the map and the matchup, it is important to run down the rosters, especially because there is going to be a swap up from the last time you've seen one of these teams. I will go ahead and go over the GlobalClan roster, which is the one that has the change. You have Darty and Scratch on Scout, Grape Juice III, and Alexandros on Soldier, Alex.exe on Demo, and Phantom will be replacing Dinkolaw on Medic for the rest of the season.
Along with the Cell, you're looking at Soar and Raven on Scout, Greg and the High Five on Soldier, Dingo on Demo, with Jay, Yum Pie, Honey Pie on Medicinal Man.
I think it's safe to say, based on the cast that we've seen so far for these two teams, they have plenty of star players. There's plenty of accolades across the board here and there, mixed with some new blood as well, or maybe not completely new, but newer in the grand scheme of things, considering you got some people that are, they debuted in the ESEA days. So it's a really nice mixture of talent. It's on a classic map. So honestly, considering, like I said, these two teams are close in the standings, I'm honestly expecting a pretty nice game today. Process sometimes can be a little bit slower, but definitely usually on the faster pace of things compared to a lot of other maps in the pool. So honestly, I think we're looking at a pretty, not normal in a bad way, but a pretty standard matchup between these two teams.
You know, one question I did have for you, just because when Dolphin was letting me know, I said, ooh, quick question. Were you also part of that ESCA blood, seeing some of these new players, do you think it's kind of like this sense of, they've gotten better over time with the meta changing a little bit, or do you think it's kind of the same, but certain players kind of remind you of maybe some older players back in ESCA?
I think it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, depending on what you're kind of talking about. If you took the ESCA players from long ago, they would not be able to deal with what the gameplay is nowadays, especially the further back you go, because certain strategies get developed here and there when dealing with snipers or dealing with plank shoves, etc., etc. There's straight up the fact that scout speed wasn't always a thing to make demo bombs as prevalent. So if you try to bring a soldier from pre-2017 into now, they're still gonna be trying to take every single Uber, and they'll be like, this demo is just flying in the sky, we can just kill him. And then he gets saved by the Uber. So there's definitely, it depends on what you talk about. I do also think that mechanically, players are able to hold up. Just because they're new doesn't mean that the old players are necessarily better. So I think the mix is fine. They work out. I think we've seen plenty of teams that have, a star-studded roster mixed with some fresh blood, and there's not really any issues because they kind of just meld perfectly and they cover each other's weaknesses. So, great to see it happen, and I think these two teams are a perfect matchup for it. Looking at the maps, though, we do have the maps on the screen, so we can take a bit and see how we actually came to Process being the final map pick tonight.
See, that's what's interesting too, is that I would have expected these guys to play on a cough map, if anything else. I didn't get the chance to look at their pick bands beforehand, but even just now seeing it too, I was kind of just over here like, ugh.
Yeah.
No bagel? No bagel, really?
I think the thing that makes sense is if you look back into the previous scrims, their match particularly, since this is the rematch compared to, I think, week 2 or something, it was a bagel match. and the Cell won Bagel 4-1 on GlobalClan. So I think GlobalClan is making the notion that, you know, they've tried to look at their Bagel gameplay, and they do not think that they will be able to reverse things around to be able to come out with the win. So they took out Bagel, they took out Koth in general, and Sunshine is probably just a personal pick from scrims. So that just leaves a pretty standard map pick, a process to be picked by the Cell. And once you have that info, I think it makes a little bit more sense.
You know, going through it as well too. What are some expectations that you have tonight between these two teams? You know, we definitely during the season we definitely have seen, you know, some of both of these teams put up some outstanding stuff. We've also seen them, you know, we've seen some plays where they've looked kind of disastrous. But you know, how you feeling about it overall?
I feel like we're going to be looking for which team has the star player flank pop off and which team has the consistency from the combo. I think when it comes to process, that's really all you need. You just need your one player to make moves that's going to be separated and going in and sacrificing the life to get the picks they need, while you need to make sure that your combo as a whole is able to be in sync, the Ubers are on point, the exchanges don't end in bad places, etc., etc. Nothing too complicated. So unless you're pulling out some crazy strategies, which is, I mean, it's kind of hard to do on a map like Process. You've seen it based on unlocks and stuff when we watch Franz J, but otherwise, it just comes down to the very little things about your actual team play rather than map specific. So that's what I'm kind of be looking for. I'll be looking for maybe a matchup of maybe Soar versus Grape Juice on the flank, and then for the combo, I'll just kind of lean towards the medic and their combo scout because that'll be most of the Uber management, and kind of go from there, and we'll see how that kind of works out in terms of you know, who is able to lead the charge, take the mids, and get the first couple rounds on the board.
Have any predictions in terms of like MVPs for both teams? Do you think there's just one player on each that's just going to outperform tonight? Something extravagant, might I say?
I feel like naturally, if it comes down to MVPs being the main reason why you won, it probably is going to be the flank players. I think if GlobalClan, especially since they're the underdogs, if they win, it's not going to be because anyone other than, I mean, I guess anyone could pull it off and play spectacularly, but usually so far in the matches we've seen, it's Grape Juice that is the one that's like, I'm going to salvage and I'm going to make this good for my team. So eyes are going to be on him for his victory if they are able to achieve it. And then, like I said, probably Soar is going to be the one that's be committing and cleaning up in the middle of the team fights to just immediately flip things around and lead the Cell to victory when things look kind of chaotic. For actual numbers for the prediction, though, the actual score line, I feel like it's safe to say that the Cell, even though, you know, maybe some scrims have been close sometimes, you know, they got that round off of Bagel and it is Koth. I still feel like there's a reason why they are the favorites and they've won before. It is a normal map that is going to be hard to really pull out all the stops on for the side of GlobalClan to really catch them by surprise. So I think it makes sense to kind of lead them in charge here and have them win by maybe 4-1. It might not go all the way to 5, and GlobalClan could put up a fight, but GlobalClan will have to put in a lot of effort, I think, to take this one away.
Well, for sure. Do you have any sort, you know, where you know, invite extraordinaire Jarrett, you know how I go. Do you have any sort of expectations that you're looking to, that maybe not expectations, but rather, you know, with, you know, GlobalClan kind of being the underdog here, do you feel, and you kind of talked about a little bit with the process kind of just being the normal map, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pull out a variety of stops to see if they can kind of put themselves on the board. Do you think, at least, it's kind of what I asked Rogue yesterday a little bit too, you know, say you're the coach, and in your case, in your situation, what do you think that GlobalClan needs to do to put themselves on the board against the Cell in an aggressive manner, to consistently keep themselves on the board and not get rolled every so often? Because even though, you know, like we've talked about, especially within scrims as well, we have seen some scrims where they have been pretty even, but we have seen them where it's been a roll in either favor, mostly in favor of the Cell against Global. But what's your thought process, bro? I'm kind of curious, low key.
I have a hot take that if Darty plays Sniper, he doesn't have to go crazy on Sniper. Just do your job of existing and not dying, so it makes the other team play in a specific way. I feel like Darty on Sniper, in general, is going to give the Cell so much more of a harder time. He doesn't need to go for any crazy drops, just literally being there and body shotting a soldier, and the Cell will kind of slow down, probably, and make it easier to win. Will he do that? I mean, he is a Sniper player. It is process. It could happen, but who knows what they're going into this match with their strategy, of course. So I guess only time will tell.
Take with the Darty Sniper, gotta go kind of crazy. Is this your official blessing, Jared? I don't know. To me, it kind of sounds like, hey, listen, this is me blessing Darty. If he does what he needs to do, he can pack him up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at the end of the day, Darty is a very good sniper. And like I said, it's more of like I think that might be the Cell's potential weakness rather than, you know, oh, Darty needs to go crazy because he is such a good sniper. He doesn't need like a crazy 3K. He just needs to exist, not die, get a body shot, and then the trap is set. The rest of the team can do their normal stuff, and their job is immediately alleviated, and the Cell is going to have to get crafty on how to try to deal with him. But if that doesn't happen, then, you know, the Cell, they might not have as much of a problem trying to figure out exactly how to execute things. And since the process is so straightforward, it's all about execution, you probably don't want your opponent having an easy execution. So, but that's just my 2 cents, and we'll see how it plays out.
Hey, that's for sure too. And just as we say that too, it looks like we're actually going live. Big Six is up in the air. The Cell versus GlobalClan. And Jared, you're a professional when it comes to this. You can already go ahead and take us in. The honor's on mine. The honor's on me, bro.
All right, both gentlemen are finally arriving to mid here as the first stickies fly across the map. We'll see if the soldiers are able to commit, and so far just landing on each other's crates for spam. Nice directs from High Five onto Grape Juice, but there's pills galore, and they're safe 4 now when it comes to their HP. High Five ducking into IT for an alternative spam angle. And so far, high ground pretty even. Alexandros about to fade, committing with Grape Juice onto the demo. Dingo up in the air, taken out, but the red team just completely exploding. They gave up so much for that demo kill, and wasn't granted them. Scratch, last one left alive. He's able to take the pack to survive for a little bit longer. Gets inside IT, but it's a classic case of sacrificing too much for gaining too little, as this 1v1 turns into a 2v1 very quickly, as GlobalClan wipes on the first mid, Dingo the only casualty, and the Cell trucks on forward.
Boy, too many resources being devoted to the one player and not cleaning it up. It was looking a little bit drastic, but coming up with it too, you know, they are going to be working with Uber here as well, Jared. So, we got to see unstoppable asshole coming out from the side of GlobalClan if they want to go ahead and not lose this. Oh my guy.
Yeah, they got the sniper behind the gun, so it's actually kind of hard to spam it down. They've had some time to build up their Uber since the blue team is going for buffs and making things easy as possible for them. This should be fine considering it's such a large ad and they're popping through forward, immediately going for the gun, trying to take it down, engineer safe away, and they're actually not even going for the cap time. They're going straight for the soldiers on the top left side, able to take down Alexandros and Phantom. So weak, Phantom's gonna die. A nice rocket from the side, High Five. Now the cap time's gonna ring through. A little bit of cap time. Darty on top of the point. One of the last few people left surviving, and so many people died in the Uber. The soldiers unable to escape it and unable to block the point properly as well, brought over with ease in the Cell. Take a pretty straightforward round in what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, straight up just 2 minutes. Hey, nah, Alex and Dingo just hit some stinker pipes that whole entire last fight. That was insane. But yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of almost textbook. Not going for the point immediately. Just decided they're gonna go for the people above, trying to go for the picks. Love to see it. Especially since we're immediately going into the next mid, you know, just trying to take some nice little spam back and forth, not really trying to contest anything too much. We're just kind of testing each other's metal at this point, as we are starting to see Scratch getting a little bit aggressive on Dingo, but regardless of the fact, ooh, with a big old bomb on the Alexander, right onto Jay, gets cleaned up. Jay with these nice surfs, and well, with a nice little rocket, as Darty is immediately on Jay, trying to see if he can secure this pick for his team, and Jay is just living with his life as well. Still in sewer with Darty right on the chase before
the arrow
gets picked off before the HP. Oh, that's like the worst feeling, bro. When you're scout, you're chasing the medic, you're locked in, you get hit with an arrow, and your party's over, bro. It's just done. You're donezo.
Ignoring the fact that, you know, Jay probably could have died to Darty if things turned out differently there, I think the counter initiation from the side of the Cell was very good. Even though GlobalClan once again initiated forward, the Cell have kind of read that and had a pretty good way to make sure that they were able to tie up the rest of the team. So it was extremely hard to focus fire properly. Sniper is going to thwart things, and the kill on the Soar is pretty good, making sure they buy even more time for the Uber to be gained. It's a 60% ad and dwindling, but Darty on Sniper once again is going to be the ticket to potentially slow them down. And Alex.exe, nice pipe onto Greg, staggers the spawns even more. Sure, you got High Five and Spore respawning in 2, but you gotta wait even longer for Greg to be able to join the party. And I think they're cutting their losses because Soar has respawned on Sniper. They recognize the ad is way too small to be able to realistically use. High Five is up on the battalion, so it's gonna take 600 damage for him to build that banner up and have the 35% defensive resistance and the anti-crit. But you got 3.5 minutes to do it. It's not necessarily impossible, and the spam will start coming out, and Soar will take the first shot onto Scratch, and that's an engineer down.
Oh my goodness, both of these snipers are coming up with the red and blue beam like it's nobody's business, especially Jared's blessing onto Darty with that shot on the Soar earlier, but with Soar coming back again with the counter snipe on the Darty, peeking through one, trying to get it done, but Alex with the little lock and load, making sure his team is locked and loaded. Peeking lobby, get the pick on the Raven as well. And he's just continuing. Oh, pop on the J, but Dingo and Koa on his case with the support bomb in lobby, killing Grape Juice as well. No soldiers for the side of Cell. This is looking like jail time for the Cell, as we got a 5 second spawn for Alex. You know, he's still going to get his time back up, and it looks like we're just going to go ahead and reset. Ubers have wait, just hit it. Dingo, get picked as well with Greg, who's his life as well. Scratch getting picked off by Sword, trading picks left and right. It is now player even. It doesn't look like they're going to use any more resources. They're just going to take their time.
High5 does have his battalions by now. They had nice picks earlier on, but you know, wasn't able to really do much off it on the side of the Cell because of the amount of damage that was put onto both High5 and Jay. They couldn't just immediately go in off of the 2 explosive classes. And the banner is popped, or at least he's holding it for now. We'll see if he immediately uses it for a post-super scenario if they're just trying to use it to milk, and he immediately died to a trap. No banner. You know he's yelling in that bumble right now.
He's mad.
So that's their 2-man. Banner down, a full 2 minutes worth built in. Grape Juice tries to sneak by into IT. Barely survives, is able to take the pack. Alex.exe has turned it, left some other doors open though. Alexandros going forward. Jay does have to use the Uber. Nice pop onto Scratch, able to get that kill. They want to get the force onto Phantom, taking half HP. Is able to duck out to the side of 4 outside of lobby, and this Uber is not going to get much more. Greg even dies to Alex.exe, stays inside lobby to make sure that kill is granted, and overall, that Uber was forced for only a 1-for-1 trade, which is great for the side of GlobalClan. And honestly, with Scratch spawning full Uber, the Stickies have been dead. They're just walking through one.
Ultimate pressure. Ooh, speaking of pressure, big old pipe coming up from Alex, kicking people off the height. That's what you like to see as well. Sword trying to peek out lobby, but they know. Grape Juice right by that lobby door. He said, no way. You're not entering this bay. No way. Big Uber. We still looking at 50% Uber after the side of the Cell as well. You know, if I was to Cell, I would simply not even use. I would just try to get through this show clean as a whistle. But, you know, we are getting through. We still have, we did use Ubers for IT actually. We are not getting fixed. We made room though. We made room. You know what I said? Sometimes you gotta make room, Jarrett. Sometimes you gotta make room.
Yeah, they thought the Dingo was catchable, and they did get some damage onto him, but not quite enough to actually seal the deal, and he will be able to escape. So overall, the Cell with Uber in tow, 80% ad, and dwindling, but they are able to make sure they get through. But Greg lands in a bit of an awkward spot, immediately taken down, so down 1 soldier with Uber ad still. They got to find a way to make this in their favor for the side of the Cell and getting the kill on Alexander still. Pistol down by the side of Raven is a great way to do so. Immediately going across the point, a little bit weak, but they're fine for now as the rest of the GlobalClan is running away, and this might just be a Dingo bomb here, potentially. They're not fully set up. They are going to immediately pop in. Dingo set into the sky, trying to find a way to get the shutter, peeking it. Scratch maybe staying to get the kill. No, flash in time, and Scratch will give up half HP to go ahead and back up there and get some extra damage onto him, but overall, a leapfrog scenario as second is going to be capped up by the side of the Cell, as Phantom has reached Uber in just a couple moments here. And with full roster all ready to go, it's up to them to pick which door they want to go out of, and it's looking like it's going to be a bust through lower.
With the Stickies at lower as well, they do use it.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, that actually sold him closer to choke. That was crazy. As we do see High5 Jit try to go behind, but Sword kind of keeping his life, and IT is going to stay alive as well with High5 dying. Raven kind of peeking sewers. Alexandro's on the case and is going to secure that kill on the Raven with Judy getting the pick onto Scratch as well. Right behind the choke, he said, you're trying to come in on my mans. Not going to happen. Grape Juice just pinballed out of the air by Dingo as well. Cleaned up by Sword. Yeah, this invite. Yeah, sir. This is definitely invite. Yeah, these people are not playing for whatever reason. I see the plays that from the side of the Cell that what they're trying to do, but the damage, the DM, is looking impeccable from both sides, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, Grape Juice is pretty confident that he could get the kill on the Dingo with the damage that was pre-existing, but overall not quite enough to seal the deal. So that'll be 1 soldier down that prevents the force from happening easily on second as Uber. I mean, they don't have their ad anymore, but they did take a free point, so it's no longer a leapfrog scenario, so the Cell will definitely be happy with it. But now you're back to the drawing board. They were in this scenario before. No banner this time, I think. High5 isn't on it prepared, but they're actually using it as if they still had ad. Maybe a bit of a curious scenario here, so trying to find a way outside too to escape, and they will indeed escape with their lives. They weren't body blocked. Scratch in their hand almost bit off more than Gachu, dropped down to 7 HP, and it might be Raven or Jay that dies. Oh, they're fine. They took some sand, but they have backed out outside for the most part, so overall a bit of a awkward scenario there as a Buster 3 will result in no deaths as both teams will rebuild Uber. And High5, that's definitely a soldier dying in for a banner, but losing both soldiers here, I mean, they get to kill on the Grape Juice, who was the counter sack, but that's a whole lot of less spam to prevent GC from poking out if they so desire.
And that's worst feeling number 2. You playing soldier and you try to bomb in last, only to get pinballed by the gun. Not a good feeling at all. You know, what's something that you think we gotta see out of Cell, or not? Excuse me, I keep calling them Cell. What's one thing you think, what's one thing you think we gotta see here out of Cell to really solidify this last push, especially now that Uber situations are gonna be even all throughout?
I think next time when High Five gets this banner, he needs to not die to a sticky trap by entering through the door first. Gotta let your team. You gotta channel like enter demo man mode and let your team run in before you do, and then you go in. But he's going in, he's playing dangerously, trying to get some damage. They get actually a kill on the Alexandros, which makes it a bit easier to try to peek and prod, and they do succeed in getting the spam on the Darty. Scratch is on Sniper though, and if you're not too careful, one single headshot could be enough to dome you, but Darty is gonna fall. No engineer, this level 1 gun is gonna get spammed on once again by the side of Dingo, as it's not looking good for the side of the red team. 3 left alive, taking some damage, pushed inside the shutter. Bomb from Greg, missing the rockets. They're going for the exchange on one of the scouts, able to take down Raven, Jay, and Dingo. Over by the side of 2. They don't want to use this, running away. Alexander's trying to come over to try to help, but unable to get there in time to put enough damage to make sure this force does indeed happen. So overall, it's probably not the way they expected to necessarily have things work out, but the Cell will most certainly take it as they kill the gun, they get the force, and escape with not only their lives, but their Uber intact.
That was literally insane. The goal on this man, not to even use, but to just get out clean, let my Damo handle all that mess, let him lock down these doors, and we still keep the Uber at it. It's quite insane. As we are starting to have them slow peek a little bit into lobby as well, it looks like they want to go ahead and utilize this Uber addition. Why wouldn't they? They immediately bomb onto the gun, gets pushed back by the gun, but all is well. Heavy up in heaven, so getting, Dingo getting bomboed right out of the gun as well, but Darty gets picked off, he was on heavy, and now it's a 5v6 player ad still on the side of the Cell to go ahead and try to solidify this. Alexandro's taking a fight with Sword up in heaven. Greg looking to see if he can try to assist him in any way. We do see a little bit of point bait as everyone, Alexandro's at 31 HP, going to have to resup, trying to see if we can convert a kill of some type. Darty is going to get his spawn back up. Oh, Grape Juice gets picked up as well. Uber does come out for the side, but with the cap from Sword, with the Uber they tried to chase, but Sword said, can't chase what you can't race, baby. What in the square?
Yeah, cap right on the noses too. If that Uber could have ran across the point instead and been able to block things in time. Honestly, I think it was kind of ballsy. The Cell were down Greg and they still went for the pinch play where they crossed over on the left-hand side, but the heavy was a free kill, so overall, works out. You know, it would almost went awry with the fact that it took so much time the Uber came into play, but trying to eliminate Dingo out of the equation. Almost an air shot to begin this mid as Grape Juice down to 50 HP. Will be fine for now. We'll need an arrow eventually, and we'll finally receive it. But high ground definitely taken in control by the side of the Cell as they're getting the aggression on, keeping Grape Juice in a box. He's unable to bomb. Alexander's pushed all the way to the choke. Air shot to the sky as the bomb comes through. Onto the demo. Alexander's taken out with the Greg and High Five combo are doing work right now, and they're still on the move. Phantom surfs up against against the wall, and Alexandros last one up live. I mean, it's the soldier show, that mid.
Oh my God. Oh my Greg. My man Greg decided to come in and bomb with grace. Oh my goodness. It's like you said, the soldier show. They're at last too. I'm locking this down. It's looking like house arrest up in here. Already on spot.
Dead ringer too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Raven sees it, he's just dead.
Oh nah, if Raven wasn't there, that would have been drastic too. They are just holding down this spawn door, keeping that bay with another round on the board, Jared. What is going on, bro?
Yeah, I think it took GlobalClan a bit to actually get that arrow onto Grape Juice, so he's just sitting there forever, and I think because they kind of saw that as well, they just not only tunneled him and prevented him from actually initiating or counter-initiating ever, which GlobalClan has been going first. When Alexandros tried to alleviate the pain, he got air shots sent to his own choke. The soldiers were a non-factor for GlobalClan, and they gotta mix things up because they're down for here right now and gotta put themselves on the board somehow, and definitely a mid win would be a good start. Getting the kill into high five is gonna be a necessary boon if they want to continue to win this mid. Some fades coming from the soldiers, and the Cell cutting their losses will lose their first mid as GlobalClan will get the cap in their favor.
At this point, GlobalClan says, hey, we back, got the mid, about to go ahead, show them what I did. Greg with a little bomb, trying to get some information as they move out through. We are starting to see a little bit of Alex's scratch. And Van 16 HP! High-five on Sniper, oh my gosh, that was super crazy. That was super crazy. But high-five is on Sniper, and if they're not careful, just like you said earlier about someone else on Sniper, this could be drastic. This could be evil.
He's hiding too. He doesn't want to show himself. He wants them to just go ahead and peek sewer and try to like dry in and buy time, and then he'll show himself, and it completely changes the way they will have to play, but it's too little too late as IT is going to be the move. Darty has gone behind. Grape Juice immediately dying, so overall a 1 sack as Darty will have to, you know, try to buy even more time it's kind of hard to go ahead and clean up this kill when you do have a sniper of your own. They are going to send back a bunch of people, and they are going to indeed be able to kill him. Is on the move now. Headshot rings out, so they didn't know before. They will know now. As Uber exchange potentially coming out on Scratch's call. They see him. It's red. The nice lock from Bendigo. That's a great start to it, but they need to get more than just a demo kill for this if they really want to prosper. Trying to get the soul damage onto one of the players enough to remove their buffs with a nice headshot from the side of 5-5. Takes out Scratch in the air. Wanted to surf that out of the choke, but he will not be so lucky if Scratch says it wasn't that good. Stop the taunt. The cell. Full Uber in tow. Double bomb in. At the same time, maybe potentially drop. No, the force. Grape Juice is going to die. Alexander will certainly die to fall damage here and will die over on 2s. Getting 2 kills for Nuber. Can't be mad at it. And still got the sniper. Ready inside sewer as this will get capped up. The soldiers get their spawns blocked and the cell still on the move.
Oh my. Yeah, this is invite. With shots like
sniper.
that, oh yeah, Scratch on sniper 2. Hold up, SVS, Snipezilla. He gets picked up by sword.
Sticky snipe.
Oh my goodness, the cleanup, man. Oh my, ooh, Alex and Dingo doing his lobby? Nah, it's chill, Jared. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do the whole. Oh, just I say that. Great juice the third.
Good trade. They have ad too. I mean, it's a little bit sketchy. Scratch is gonna spawn in like 2 seconds. They are kind of forward, like they. Never mind. The Uber's not gonna gain 99%. High 5 with the hero shot through 5, collects 1, is going to get killed by Scratch, but it's a 4v3 scenario, and I don't even think, no, the cell does want to dry just based off that. Darty, half HP, on top of the point, will get scattered down. Alex.EC has to run forward, able to get the kill onto Raven, but the lock and loads are going to miss bomb from Greg. On Dramatic and Demo combined, able to take down Alex.EC as Uber comes in play, taking down the remaining players from the side of GlobalClan, and the cell have collected their 4th round.
Nah, bro. I'm seeing some stinkies. I'm seeing some shots that if that happened to me, I'll probably disconnect. No, I'm seeing some good gameplay coming out from the sub, but Jared, it doesn't look like GlobalClan. It doesn't really look like GlobalClan is in the driving seat at all throughout, man.
Yeah, they had to start with the mid, but once High 5 died at mid, he kind of put the team on his back for just a moment with the sniper and kind of, you know, foiled all of their plans for greatness. So at the end of the day, you know, it started strong but ended weak for the side of GlobalClan. They're on their last legs. This could be very well the last mid-fight if they don't get things under together. See a fade from Alexandros and from the side of Grape Juice dropped very low as the entire team of GlobalClan is in the red for the most part. And the cell, they've lost a little bit of positioning. Sor is going to die, so that is a decent start. Darty is behind, collecting packs and could pounce, but they do see him and are going back for him. High 5. He thinks this match is a joke. He's on the direct hit, but it'll be Dingo, Sticky Snipe able to take down the side of Darty, so there's no longer a scout behind, but that is room gained from his play, so GlobalClan will once again turn things around and take control of the mid with the cell. They're on the move. A little bit of disrespect. Oh my god, Grape Juice, he survived, but he got almost taken out of the sky there. It'll be Raven that dies instead as they're just bullying through this choke. Come on.
Oh, nah. Get this man off this gun, please, man.
There goes Alex.
Oh my god. Nah, bro said, I'm really trying to play pinball with these people right now, man. Gregory with the nice little spoon, giving himself a nice triple soft serve at Sebastian Robbins with that market play. Okay, I see how you moving, and I see the cell making their way right back in the mid as well, but I didn't see it. I'm seeing it now with Darty back on sniper to see if he can try to get anything for his team, but it looks like he's going to try to get one more peek and back up with the rest. Jared is not looking too good, bro.
I think the Cell soldiers were just, you know, playing normal, but now at this point they're pretty much making a statement. This Uber comes through, Dingo probably able to take down Scratch, but no, the stickies from Alex.exe wasn't able to get there in time to save him, and Dingo lingered a little bit too long, wanting that Scratch kill so badly. So a little bit of a misplay. No stickies means the side of the red team is going to start walking through. Some flank coming from IT, unseen. Greg going to come from the backside, might be able to bomb through, but they're turning around. He is going to get completely busted out of the sky as GlobalClan indeed make use of the Dingo pick to just dry straight to 2 and make sure it is not capped up, and they got a free mid out of that as well.
Alexandros really hit the IRS bomb. Man's really said, yeah, let me go ahead and collect that money and let me just let me stay steady. I died for it, so I went ahead and got my people. I heard my damage, but it puts him back in the driving seat again. Especially, ooh, high 5 94 HP. He's just gonna lose. They're gonna use the Uber through as well. Are they gonna catch Raven? Oh, they don't catch Raven.
So much damage.
15 HP.
4 different players went red, and none of them died.
Oh my god. You know, they had, and like I said, they had the driving seat for the moment. They still have the second cap. We are looking at Uber ad for the side of the cell as we try to lock it in. I could see a potential of them trying to send some people behind, but every time that happens, the cell pretty much anticipates that, and they send 2, maybe even 3 people to go ahead and try to clean these people behind. They have no mind. They pay no mind when it comes to being patient and waiting for the people to clean up, as we are starting to see them push and bully out just a tad bit. Not really losing anybody except Grape Juice is going to be the first. Alex probably losing his life as well with the cleanup, the damage. Oh, the projectile damage from everybody is looking immaculate right now, Jared. It's looking immaculate, my guy.
Yeah, that milk really threw him for a loop, and GlobalClan wasn't really sure how to respond. Grape Juice unprepared will get taken down, and Alex.exe just made a straight-up mistake, lingering too long in the choke, thinking he was safe. So overall, that's going to lead to not too much available for the red team to go ahead and get a force, and they're trying to potentially go for an Uber now, but I don't think they realize that the drops, it doesn't matter. That was just going to be an exchange of a lifetime in favor of GlobalClan, but it all comes crumbling down as their medic unable to use the Uber in time. They're trying to clear up these soldiers. Grape Juice going for a finale play, but will not succeed, reaching Jay, and Alexandros too weak to be able to commit himself. So overall, what could have been great for them, their only thing they're going to get out of that is a couple lock-in loads here and there as Alex.exe takes down Soar and slow things down. But the train's still rolling in the cell's favor. They did have to use the Uber for that, but they do have an ad they can indeed use long-term to try to seal the deal here. Only silver linings, GlobalClan, they got the engineer, they got the time to build it, and we'll see how things go for the cell's last push.
I am both, as a man who plays demo, I'm happy when I see the lock-in use. Damn. I'm mad when I see somebody get Timmy 2 on the point, bro.
Yeah. he just nailed high five in the feet.
Well, listen, just like you said, man, we're looking at the last push with, and it looks like it is going to just about even out since they're not taking it. So that's just what I said. They're actually do the one door, 93% Uber. They don't even have yet, but the gun is going to go ahead and stall as much time as possible to get this Uber. They officially have the Uber. It doesn't look like we're really losing anybody yet. We're just trying to take these initial fights. Uber does come out for the side of, and it's looking to pick up on Jay. Scratch gets picked up with a nice little pistol from Raven, and now it's just trying to clean up all these kills with the Uber, not getting picked off. Alexandros losing his life to fall damage. Hate to see it. Soar and High Five with the low health, still trying to clean up people as well. Soar with 190 health, trying to see if he can salvage anything for his team. Scratch age, 3 points. Scratch with a 4K at the mid, saying we not losing. We're back in the driving seat, and I'm driving a 2006 Mitsubishi Galant with a turbo kit. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Alex might die here. 50 HP. Oh, he's just dead. He wanted his lockdown sewer go for a play, but high risk, high reward will not play off. He will end up dying with no stickies to lock things down. Raven has free reign to just take shot after shot, and GlobalClan, they gotta leave. They're losing both their soldiers. High five with the play, sacrificing himself, trading 1 for 2, and making it that much easier for the side of the cell to make sure this is capped up. And honestly, even though they have Disnat, they can peek around and try to find a way to get the force out of Phantom. Up inside Heaven, nice headshot rings out on a Dingo, making him a bit weak. They will not get the force for now. Running forward, Scratch wants to run it. Dingo able to get that frag. 2 up in Heaven right now, might just go for the point, might see some deja vu. Soar's on it again. Soar wants to win from the play previously, but will end up dying. Actually, but gets Grape Juice on the way out. Oh my god. Didn't expect that happening, able to weasel his way around and able to secure that frag. But overall, the cell succeed. Greg is... Okay, where was Alex? Oh, he was up. He's peeking and poking around in places he shouldn't, and it's really to his team's detriment. He dies in upper lobby. At least Greg dies at the same time, but that's a trade you're always going to want for the side of the cell. And they have Uber ready to go. If GlobalClan is too close here inside lobby, they could just wipe.
It could look like an all-you-can-eat buffet. And the cell is going to be eaten in the cell with their dub if that happens. 60% Uber for the side of GlobalClan, and it looks like they're just not taking their time, getting people buffs as they need it. They use the Uber through 4. Gun is immediate. Gun officially goes down just as we're looking at. And this will be High Five does lose his life to Alexandros. It is going to be a slight player ad, but it doesn't even really seem like the cell wants to do it too with Alexandros and Lobby trying to keep people in bay, but he does get cleaned up, so it is going to be even plays. We do see Scratch on Heavy, and they are still going to go ahead and play this confidently, but we are seeing the Uber, and people are red though on the side of Uber. Greg gets picked up by Darty, and everyone else is just trying to get out as possible. Dude, Dingo gets out as well! Oh my goodness.
The shot from Raven on the Phantom, though, in the post-Uber. Raven was on Sniper this whole time, and Darty's going to die as well. Overall trade, the cell getting plenty of kills, and honestly, they don't even need to prosper that much. Wait, GlobalClan, why are you... Oh, they're playing around. They want to be able to kill the kill on the J. Scratch, missed a couple shots, has to sacrifice himself potentially. If they get the kill on Dingo, will eventually die to the rocket from the side of 5-5. Missed air shot. Alexandros has to resup. Will barely make it in time. Alex.exe fighting against the wall right now against Greg. Lands on 2 stickies. Popped up into the air once again. Needs to jump around. Distracted for 5-5. Though bombing on the point. Getting nails on Alexandros, but not quite enough to secure the kills. Both GlobalClan soldiers will survive the onslaught the cell brought forward. But even though they sacrificed a lot, the cell hiding inside IT with their ad, potentially bursting through lower and collecting kills. It's about to happen, Jamon.
Bro.
The pipe.
Bro. Jay is immortal. Everyone is immortal. The Uber is out. It doesn't matter if you don't have soldiers. When you have scouts, your demo, when you have kills circulating throughout this entire game, you sit there. You get picks. I don't care if they're capped in second. You make it your money. You make it rain. Alexander's getting picked up in 2. Jared, give me the formula. What just happened?
I mean, a 3v6 scenario for that to work out perfectly. I mean, that early lock and load and the surprise factor really sealed the deal there to nail the heals away. The cap did end up going in their favor earlier, but it looks like it's not going to matter that much as it's just off Uber push. Greg distracting, trades back and forth, heavy out on the field. High five bombing fans trying to eliminate the heals out of the equation. Drop down to 12 HP, serving to the other side as the Cell, they've run out of gas. They've been pretty good so far, but Soar, I mean, he actually has the basher. He usually runs the ornament, I think, one too many times of running away alone, especially because Raven was on sniper, I suppose. But either way, not enough in the tank to seal that for themselves, so the match will continue. They have had to try to break their way back into 2, but GlobalClan are breathing a sigh of relief as they exit their own last and put themselves back around the spire.
They kept themselves in there for, dude, it seemed like they kept themselves in there for, they were in the cell. They were in the jail cell as they were looking at it too. But as we are starting to see the cell actually start to make some high five low, Great P, not getting cleaned up, still alive. Jay has to use the Uber. Nice little force out from Grape Juice. They are going to go ahead and solidify that ad as well. I can't believe High Five did not die. He, three health. I thought I saw 3 health in the sky. How did he live? Blaming the edge bud. But as we are starting to see GlobalClan make their way into lobby, it looks like they want to use the Uber from lower and try to jump and see if we can catch through anybody. Get stuffed with the trap. Oh, it doesn't look like nice little pipe on the ribbon.
Scratch lost. He was buffed to rated Soar with Uber and missed enough shots that the Soar was able to eventually win when the Uber faded. Soar pulling on all the stops there. Reigning Supreme is just continuing to run forward as we have reached a pause. That's not even a pause, that's a disconnect.
Oh.
The server's dead.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. Is it RGL's casting this game, guys? What's happening?
Yeah, all right, Dolphin has the cheat feed for us for this anticlimactic ending of the match, where what happens is the Cell win by Greg going crazy mode and killing everyone on the dry fight, and then GC just don't have enough to defend. And then they cap with GC's skeleton crew unable to do anything, and then they win, and then the game ended and the server died. I don't know if the server died by accident or if it was just like they accidentally closed it, not realizing.
Yeah,
but
most likely. Hey, what I say is, I don't see a stat yet. Never mind, Dolphin just pulled it up.
Oh, that's not even the stat. That's just like the cheat feed to kill feed.
I was about to say, hey, I don't see anything. All you basically told me was Greg got a 6K, pushed it in the last, and he won for the cell. He won for the cell. Greg 6K. That's what I'm going to it until I see a demo, dude. Until I see a demo.
Overall, 5-0 game. Honestly, GlobalClan, they had some moments, but overall, they did not seem as prepared as the Cell were for sure.
Nah, they really just... Nah, dude, I really don't know what happened. I was expecting something a little bit more even, but from how you were kind of phrasing it as well, it's a normal map. It's going to be hard to pull out stops. So if they're unable to pull out some of the stops on a map like this, it's going to be harder on some of the other staple maps where they're kind of similar or somewhat normal along that line. But yeah, very dominant in terms of how they play, especially, you know, with the last push we were seeing a little bit of fight back from, you know, before officially making it that 5-0, but along that line, still an overall phenomenal game coming out. A phenomenal game coming out from both teams.
And if you're the Cell, you're honestly pretty happy that you didn't drop any rounds there and it wasn't going to stalemate out or anything like that, because even though it's a hard road, you know, they're still probably aspiring for playoffs, even though they gotta almost entirely win out. But if it comes down to rounds at any point, you know, it's these matches that you look towards that, you know, okay, good thing we've did a 5-0 roll to make sure the win-loss difference for points isn't like skewed so hard that it knocks us down. And I think with this win, it makes sure that they realistically get at worst 5th, which is, you know, not too bad. And it's only up from there. I'm assuming for their spirits and their desires. You can take a look at the stats to see who was able to come up on top in the Soar. Soar was leading by far in the kill department.
Oh my man's was put My man was putting up some NBA 2K 25, 99% accuracy player type of stats. 30 and 12. I'm gonna count the assist for assist. I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible for something like this. The cleanup was there, especially if I'm talking about DPM, Jared. Alex was still putting up numbers as well, man. From the demo POV, definitely putting up some outstanding damage, man. Solidifying his cleanup for his team. That's incredible.
Yep, trying to hold it down. And honestly, it makes sense considering the moments that he did end up dying were because he was trying to continue to, pump out damage, and he just kind of flew a little too close to the sun every now and then. But the times where he was able to make it come through, those lock and loads were pretty menacing, and it makes sense that the damage is shown there. And it was probably part of the reason why they're able to, have those moments where they kind of were able to take a couple fights, take some ground, just weren't able to get all the way to the opposing last because only so many of the mids went their way. It's kind of hard to seal the deal when you have to start on your own side of the map more often than not. But overall, can't be too mad. At least you showed some prowess, but the Cell will take it ultimately.
I didn't even see the J1 death. That's incredible. Oh
True.
My gosh. What? Great googly moogly. What in the world? Yeah, but regardless, besides that stat line, yeah, put that on the fridge. That's the fridge stat right there. Besides that, man, yeah, the Cell still played a phenomenal game throughout that. They were playing very dominant throughout that whole entire game. I really kind of was expecting more of a back and forth though.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to call themselves back in the mids that they were able to lose, that they weren't able to win, and they lost. There was some leapfrogging, which isn't too crazy, but it showed, both teams, they were kind of evenly matched sometimes when it came to trying to take back a point, and just went back and forth until someone screwed up. But when it comes to, outmaneuvering or making mistakes, the Cell came out on top. And onward to the next matches that are arguably going to be way harder because they gotta even they can take relish in the victory now, but they got a couple matches coming up that are not only do or die, but that are rematches that they did not didn't work out so well in their favor previously. So take what you can get, but you gotta keep the fire going. You can't celebrate too much.
Got a nice little they got a nice little Froyo Tech match coming up too, man. And let me tell you, Jared, that's gonna be the game. That's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a game, brother. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to see how that one would kind of play out as well.
Yeah, the Cell play Froyo tomorrow, and then speaking of Froyo play Franz J on Thursday. So that is the match lineup that we are looking at for the rest of this week. It was originally something different, but they rescheduled last second to move things around and make sure everyone is able to be there. But I'm thinking that's probably gonna be close to closing things out for tonight. Any final thoughts or shouts before we go ahead and wrap things up, Jamon?
And I appreciate you casting with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you letting me cast with you. Let me put it like that. I appreciate Dolphin for doing the production as always. Big shout out to Chalk. I love Chalk. Always, all my homies love Chalk. Chalk is my guy. That's really it, man. That's really it, bro.
Yep, definitely shout out to Jamon for coming in and I think TC had a sore throat, so unable to pop in, but Jamon with the clutch save, making sure this cast is able to happen. Obviously, shout out to all the viewers for showing up and having a good time with us here, and there's definitely going to be more important and probably closer matches later on in the next day or two that you definitely will not want to miss, so you want to stick around and make sure you can catch them if you can at the normal times. However, for the action tonight is going to be it. That is it for us. I've been Jarrett casting with Jamon, with Dolphin on production. Thank you, and good night.